Hey folks, it's Max here and welcome to another TW 2020 video, this time from our Watcher series. If you enjoy what we do here, please check the links in the description below. That will take you to other series that I do partake in, and of course there's the links there to the various places that you can see other mods and other written and verbal content creators, and of course a link to the game itself. So without further ado, hit that like button, sub if you haven't already, leave a comment if you've enjoyed what you saw or what your thoughts were, as we crack on with another episode of our Watcher series. This one was quite interesting to me. As you're aware, the 1983 Death of the Territories mod was one that I'd moved over. It was created in TW, it might even have been 13 actually, because when I went to do the conversion to TW 2020, I had to open it up again in 2016 and save a certain, it was just really weird, it was like save it in a certain part of the editor. It was in like TV shows, and then that allowed it to actually open up within 2020. It seemed like it was created very early in the life cycle of 2016, which does make me think it was a conversion from 2013. I'm not 100% sure. It was a long time ago, so easily forgotten on that regard. But the reason I wanted to do this one, as well as obviously I'm doing the save on YouTube, so it was interesting to compare how the AI would handle it without any of my involvement. And I'd simmed the first year, basically during qualifying of my F1 race, and then another year during the race, and how it changed from 1984 to 1985 was quite mad. I don't need to worry about getting into March because obviously WrestleMania is not a thing yet, but the turnaround was absolutely crazy. To give you an idea, by the first year, January 1984, WWF were 5 million in debt, which to me was absolutely crazy. And let's just say they ain't that amount in debt anymore. If we just quickly scroll the way through down here, 4 million plus, so an 8 million flip financially, which was absolutely crazy. So I'm assuming as well at one point they would have been a company that would have been in financial disarray. So I'll go through various things at different times, that probably be all over the place, but if we can cover most things, we'll try and cover a few of the top companies as well as the WWF, and we can explain things as they went along. So we'll start with the awards. So if we just click on that, the Wrestler of the Year was Andre the Giant. The Company of the Year was All Japan Pro Wrestling. Team of the Year was Fujinami and Takada. Match of the Year was Andre the Giant and Fujiwara against Fujinami and Takada. All Japan Champion Carnival was your Show of the Year, and Takada won your Young Wrestler of the Year. So it does seem, in any modern day sense, unless it's killing the business, that, I say modern day, any real life world mod I should say, is basically Japan will dominate any awards. So Veteran was Abdullah the Butcher. Female wrestler went to Devil Masami. WWF won the Most Improved Company. As I say, we'll elaborate on that more shortly. Devil Masami was the Independent Wrestler of the Year. Billy Graham was the Manager of the Year. Lance Russell as Announcer of the Year. Color Commentator went to Jesse the Body Ventura. And Tommy Young was the Referee of the Year. So I just want to quickly, I've done that so many times, give you an idea if I can get my news to pop up, just flip in there. So you can see over the period of time when I've been on the Watcher, many companies with financial warnings to potential bankruptcy. I think that just covers 1984, no, it actually covers the whole time. So WWF, despite being way in debt, didn't pop up, but you can see AJW, so All Japan's Women's Pro Wrestling were one that suffered from that. ASW as well, which would be All Star Wrestling. So a lot of these kind of companies, well, they look like they are, well, they're bankrupt, so they're gone completely. So yeah, a lot of these companies have pretty much died. World Wrestling Council is gone as well, which is quite mad, so they've gone out of business. In fact, we may as well utilise it, this handy tool here. So if we just go out of, there we go. So in the year of 1984 alone, or is that going to count 83 as well? Let's just double check. We've got the option to do this, and there we go. So yep, we've just lost the 5 companies. We've lost All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. We've lost All Star Wrestling, the World Wrestling Council, Southeastern Championship Wrestling, and Southwest Championship Wrestling have all gone out of business in this period of time, which is quite mad. Another one I just want to call is the enters the wrestling business, and I love how we still have that noise and that Windows noise in 2020. You'd think the game would be further developed than that, but there you go. So it does seem like it's the exact same people that's popped up at the same time in my AI match we'll save on YouTube. So Mick Foley was saw about. So I just had recently Nikita Koloff, and I get the Black Warrior. But you can see there just a few names I'll quickly show. So Sid Vicious is now in the world. Tatanka, get Marta Jannetty's in there. Get Slick. Mr. T's popped up, ready for WrestleMania. We get Fred Ottman in there as well. Cyndi Lauper, Yokozuna is in there. We also have got Kendall Windham, Jim Powers, Nelly Brown. So that will be because of the retirement of Mae Young, we now have Nelly Browning in there. We've got Medusa popping up. And then the spawn of Moolah, which is Maureen Diaz. I've just allowed that to kind of happen, so it'll be interesting how that kind of goes. I might look at changing that when it gets to my actual human save, because it kind of does take away the realism if these kind of new gens are spawning. And a save where I don't want new gens, I'd rather it just be the full wrestling world, so we'll maybe look at that one. But apart from that, Scott Hall enters the world, Shawn Michaels is entered as well. A lot of guys there that have had very good careers in Japan. Muto Chono in there as well. Robbie Brookside, Tom Zink, John Liddell seems to be the new classy Freddie Blassie. But apart from that, Mark Callis, Undertaker, we've got Sting in there, and the man they call Vader as well. So quite a lot of big names entering the world in 1984. I cannot wait to see them pop up in my save, and yeah, they'll be ready for possibly WrestleMania 1. So, Company Wars. So this is the interesting one. So we can see here, CMLL have done well. They're big. Stampede Wrestling have done quite well at medium. We've got New Japan. But the other big companies I want to touch on, so obviously All Japan's went big. The WWF's went big. And so has the CWF. That's Canadian Wrestling Federation, Championship Wrestling from Florida. But the biggest drop, Georgia Championship Wrestling, nearly 9 million in debt. So a company that in my save have basically got like 6 million in the bank. Now I was wondering, is this to do with the written exclusive contracts? Because in my save, I've kept everyone on, just the handshakes, and then I've not had any bidding wars because the money would cost too much. But because in this, everyone's went written, and that saw WWF thrive because of that, and other companies are obviously having to pay big money for their stars, and it's putting them into massive debt. So I don't know if it's worth me looking ahead at going and basically putting everyone in written deals exclusively. So they'll still have people they'll outbid me for, but they'll eventually go and be massively in debt. But if I do keep it the way I'm going, it means I'll have a war for a longer period of time. So we'll touch on the WWF. As I say, they've kind of stuck with what they've had in terms of just keeping the show structure the same. No WrestleMania in there, but you can see there 90s across the board easily with our top 10 ratings. That's just for that show, and you can see the gain as well. 87s both times they've done their shows there in March, so they've really been knocking the big ratings out, especially in April, and especially in 1984 they've been doing well. So we'll just touch on a few things in terms of people that they've brought in, and I am absolutely terrible for history, so there may be people here who weren't there. I'll just try to remember. Paul Orndorff, I'm pretty sure at the time wasn't with WWF because I don't remember using him, so he's come in and he's been really over. Andre is 100 over in the tri-state area. But in mine, where he's 91 everywhere, he's kind of lower elsewhere, so I don't know if he's maybe jobbed out to people. But he's still in that handshake deal with WWF and New Japan, because they've got that relationship where they can't steal him. But the crazy thing is, so they're 2 months away, which would have been for WrestleMania 1. Where's Hulk Hogan? Where are you, brother? Nowhere to be seen. And that's I'm going to look to obviously do another further sim into this and see what happens. So in terms of champions, they've had a few. So we start with Don Morocco. That goes to Sika. Don Morocco gets the second reign. Then Pat Patterson. And then George the Animal Steel. So that's quite good, the flexibility of wrestlers as well, because the Animal Steel had retired in mine, so was not available. In terms of the tag division, they have had Mr. Fuji and Tiger Chung Lee won it from the Chief Jay Strongbow and Jill Strongbow combination. Then I went to Soul Patrol, I think they were called. Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas before Afa and Sika the Wild Samoans have captured it for their third title reign. Women's Championship remains vacant, and at the moment we've had 2 champions in the heavyweight division. After superstar Billy Graham won it from Bob Backlund to get his second reign, we are now on a destructive run since July with Andre the Giant. So I'm intrigued to see how that goes. I'm going to see stables quickly. So House of Truth was formed a year ago with Alexis Smirnoff, Mil Mascaras, Tito Santana and Don Morocco. And the It Crowd was formed in September 1984 with Kurt Hennig, Eddie Gilbert, Pat Patterson, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, and this up-and-comer, Arn Anderson. Not bad at all, it must be said. Alumni, see who they've lost. Andy Biglia, Ivan Putski, Fink's gone. Buddy Rogers, that's fair enough. We'll click on, so there's a few companies I want to check here, as I say, mostly in America. So obviously this is crazy, how that is just completely flipped financially. I just want to check if they had any warnings regarding their financial situation. Not that I can see, but it's crazy how that's worked. We check the progress. Oh god, well you can quite easily see where they've maybe lost some television deals or stopped running shows. So when you get to June, the difference is noticeable in the Midwest from January to June. The Northwest going from 57 down to 16, then 11. The same in the Southwest, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and I'd even add in as well the Tri-State. In fact, the only places they've really stayed high in popularity in the States has been the Great Lakes, the Mid-Atlantic, New England, and the Southeast as well. So they have really fallen, and they just need to make sure they're fine in the Southeast, which they are quite easily. So their stables has been Freedom Force, Ollie Anderson, Assassin 1, Tito Santana and Jerry Blackwell, and the posse of Cole Beware, Bob Armstrong, Siglo XX and Tim Horner. Their champions, the GCW TV title, seems like it was created in game, I think. I don't know too much about this time frame, but Assassin 1, David Schultz and Coco Beware have been champion. The Cadillac Cup was one that has never been done since its inception. Likewise, we haven't had another one of the Thanksgiving Tag Team. The NWA National Tag Team Championships have had a few. We've had Chavo and Hector Guerrero. We've had Mr. Wrestling and Mr. Wrestling 2. Stanley and Tom Pritchard. Chavo and Hector again. With now Tim Horner and Bob Armstrong, Bullet Bob. And the heavyweight champion has had three inceptions. We've had Killer Carol Cox with his second reign. He lost the belt to Ollie Anderson, and we've now had it for 66 days on Stan Hansen. So it's quite cool to see. We'll just have a quick look at, as I say, the main kind of people. Agio, Casas, Santasio, Mascara Anno 2000. So they've done quite well in staying remotely over. Obviously they'll be quite over in Mexico, have CMLL. their champions. We'll just go with the heavyweight champion if I can find it. Is that the name? That's the women's one. I don't know have a heavyweight, it's like light heavyweight. But anyway, Amerio Roca is the national light heavyweight. The tag team is Mascara Anno 2000 and Mil Mascaras. The trios is with Negro Casas, MS1 and El Santanquio. The welterweight is with Valiano 3. Light heavyweight is with Periagio. And the world middleweight with Negro Casillas as well. Stampede. Their championships have the Commonwealth mid heavyweight on Owen Hart, which is quite cool to see him thriving. Keith Hart and Leo Burke with the tag team, and the North American heavyweight is with Bret Hart, his 7th time as champion, and he's had 2 runs after his initial run in this 7. Lost the title to both Davey Boy and Tommy Rich as well, but they've been thriving pretty well. They get much in terms of stables. They have the Citizens, which is Kato Kung Lee, Owen Hart, the Mongolian Stomper, JR Foley, and Frenchie Martin. Is that? That is actually JR Foley. And the Sickness, a 3-person alliance of Hercules Ayala, Jim Neidhart, and Larry Sampson, their main man, Woohoo McDaniel. And 2 others I'm going to look at. We've got to go big time. Seem to be doing not too bad over in the UK, but the 2 I wanted to look at was New Japan and then World Class Championship Wrestling. So New Japan, Buzz Sawyer is the main man over there. Obviously they've still got the likes of Andre the Giant over in New Japan. Let's have a look. That's never been run. The Big Gold Belt was created in January '83, so Buzz Sawyer has that. And that's been through Fujinami and Abdullah the Butcher. The national tag, has that been done? Yep, so that's a lot of these belts have been created in game, it seems, and Meng and Bobby Eaton hold that. Nobody's won the Super Junior Cup yet. The NWA World Junior Heavyweight is with Hiro Michi Fuyuku. I've pronounced that horribly wrong. And nobody has won the Super Grade Tag League since Inoki and Hogan in '82. In terms of stables, Low Society, Fujinami, Meng and Seiji Sakaguchi. The Coming Storm of Black Tiger, Bobby Eaton and Angus Campbell. The Pod of Black Cat, Dutch Mantell, Kendo Nakezaki and Masanobu Kirusio. And the Spring, Bad News Island, Abdullah Tamba, which I'm assuming is... Nope, it's just another guy I don't know too much about, my bad, and Dick Murdoch as well. So last but not least, World Class Championship Wrestling, a member of the NWA Alliance. As I say, they seem to be doing okay. They've got most of the Von Erichs there. You can see Kerry, David and Fritz and Kevin working down there as well. And of course Bruiser Brody is their main man at the top. Champions for them, the American Heavyweight at the moment is with Jimmy Garvin after winning it from Kerry Von Erich. The American Tag Team is with with Brian Adias and Chris Adams. Brass Knuckles is with El Dandy, which was actually a thing at that time apparently. Texas Heavyweight is with the Freebird, Michael Hayes, who won it from Paul Orndorff, who'd won it from Jimmy Garvin. The Television's with the Great Kabuki, and the World Six-Man is with Terry Gordy, Bruiser Brody, and Jimmy Garvin in the ranks. Have you got much in terms of stables? The New Gods, which is Alfonso Dantes, Darwin, El Dandy, and Johnny Rivera, and the Freebirds, the Von Erichs continue with David, Kerry, and Kevin. So it's quite interesting to see how the difference in how you handle your company can affect others. So it's certainly made me second guess where I'm going to go. But I think I will look to advance this a bit further to 1987, possibly a bit further than that, and give myself an idea of just how much this can change the business, to see if it goes how the world went in real life. Of course, I don't think it can automatically add in WrestleMania, but it'd be interesting to see if WWF can continue to make those big strides with WrestleMania technically starting in 2 months' time. But for this watcher, thanks very much for watching. As I say, there'll be other watchers on the way. There's some that I've got ready to go and ready to record. So we'll definitely have 1991 Peaking Tides in the future. And of course, any suggestions, let me know in the comments section below. But thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon for some more TW 2020 content. Bye bye.